You've undoubtedly been told you're an introvert, shy, or just dislike people. But what if your strong aversion to getting out, mingling in loud places, and immersing yourself in crowded situations isn't just a personality feature, but an indication of spiritual awakening? When your awareness transforms, your whole connection to the world changes. The places you formerly attended for entertainment start to seem weighty. The gatherings that once excited you are now tiring. Even walking down a busy street, mall, or event can leave you feeling exhausted for hours, if not days. This is not at random. This is not antisocial conduct. It's vitality and intellect. Every person, topic, and energy in the area surrounding you has an influence on the subtle awareness that you will experience. When your spirit awakens, it refuses to accept what was previously undetected. Today, we'll look at 6 hidden, sometimes misunderstood reasons why enlightened people shun crowded environments, as well as how these antisocial impulses might be signals of profound energetic harmony. These aren't general causes. These are the tiny, undetectable adjustments in your nervous system, perception, and energy limits that cause crowds to seem overpowering. By the end, you may find that your urge to stay at home, be in nature, or pursue solitude is not something you need to change. It indicates that you're living at a frequency that most people can't yet detect. Let's dig in. Prior to your awakening, you had little awareness of a room's emotional milieu. You could have thought someone was in a terrible mood, but it was hazy, like background noise. After waking, there is no longer background noise. The first thing you notice when you come in is this feeling. You do not only notice a smile, you can sense the underlying anxiousness. You don't just hear a kind tone. You feel the frustration pounding underneath it. It's as if your heart is equipped with an emotional radar that scans everyone and detects their true weather. This heightened empathy is not an intentional decision. Your neurological system has opened up to a new level of reality, one in which truth and emotion are interwoven. And while this is useful in crowded situations, it may become overpowering. You're not only talking to one individual. You can detect dozens, if not hundreds, of micro-emotions from everyone in the room. Imagine being in a room with 20 radio stations playing simultaneously. That's how your emotional perspective feels right now. Each station offers more than simply music. It combines tension, uncertainty, excitement, boredom, yearning, and envy. You do not need to attempt to hear them. You cannot avoid hearing them. The continual absorption of unsaid emotional energy is draining. It's why you leave some events feeling as if you've just completed a marathon. It's why you sometimes get home and feel compelled to sit in quiet or cry for no apparent reason. You have been absorbing small emotional currents. However, most individuals are unaware of the emissions they produce. Avoiding crowds becomes a means of self-defense. Not because you despise people, but because your sensitivity has reached the point where your system can only handle so much before requiring a reset. Here's the hidden blessing. This sensitivity teaches you to be extremely careful about who you spend time with. You begin to seek out environments in which the emotional climate is light, open, and real. You prioritize quality above quantity. You can offer your presence to those who feel secure being near your heart. It's not antisocial. It is socially conscious. Long before your conscious mind notices anything off in a setting, your body already knows. This is one of the most underestimated benefits of spiritual awakening. Your body acts as a sensitive barometer for invisible environmental energy. You can stroll into a store and get an unusual weight in your chest. You may enter a restaurant and immediately feel stiffness in your shoulders. You may be at a seemingly normal cafe, yet your breathing changes, your stomach tightens, or your skin prickles. This is not paranoia. It is somatic intelligence, the body's capacity to digest sensory and energetic input more quickly than the conscious intellect. After waking, the communication between your body and your consciousness becomes more acute. You don't merely consider if a location feels pleasant or awful. You can literally feel it. And here is why. Crowds are often uncomfortable. Your body will feel heavier as the energy density increases. Crowds carry a variety of items: stress from someone's workplace, whispered disagreements, restless ambition, silence, heartbreak in spiritual terms. Each of these emotional states contributes to the overall energy of the environment. Your body does not simply register this, it opposes it. This is why you may have unexpected headaches, feel fatigued at huge gatherings, or even go asleep in certain public locations. Your body is essentially screaming, "I do not want to process all of this right now." You most likely disregarded or overrode the sensations of pain before waking up. You can't, and you shouldn't, since one of the most important lessons of this period is to heed your body's early warning signs rather than waiting until you're completely weary or nervous before leaving. Over time, you'll notice that your body instinctively directs you to surroundings that match your energy. Places where you feel lighter, more open, and more at ease, as opposed to those into which you were previously driven. Feeling optional now, and you realize that listening to your body is not restricting your life, but rather increasing it. Conversations that used to go unnoticed suddenly feel curiously empty. Small conversation, when a seemingly innocent social practice begins to seem like a waste of energy, discussing weather patterns or repeating polite niceties no longer feeds you. Instead, you seek depth. You wish to discuss life's mysteries, people's actual experiences, the realities they keep even from themselves. You want to share energy with words, not simply fill the quiet with them. This is not to say that you are opposed to informal chat in general, but just in busy circumstances where most exchanges are quick and formulaic. It feels like you're continually skimming the surface of a big ocean, never plunging, and that shallow beat irritates your newly attuned heart. The larger the gathering, the more shallow the exchanges are, and the more agitated you feel. It's more than simply being bored. It's about the energetic cost of engaging in talks that don't lead to anything meaningful. And since your energy is suddenly more valuable, you instinctively avoid circumstances in which you cannot be totally yourself. This is why parties, networking gatherings, and large group activities may seem tiresome. It is not the amount of people, it is the absence of depth. Ironically, individuals who knew you before may perceive you as distant. But the fact is that your enlightenment has altered your social preferences. You'd rather spend an hour having a deep soul talk with one person than 5 hours chatting with 20 people. By avoiding crowds, you are isolating yourself. You're saving your energy for a genuine connection before waking. You probably didn't consider how time seemed in different settings. Now, it's difficult not to notice spaces in a line that correspond to your energy. Time passes easily. Conversations are interesting, silences are relaxing, and hours may feel like minutes. However, in congested areas, time frequently drags uncomfortably. 10 minutes in line might feel like an hour. Being delayed at an event might feel like a full day. This is not impatience. Your nervous system detects a frequency mismatch after waking. Your internal tempo alters. You work with greater presence, clarity, and a better awareness of what is worth your attention. Crowded areas frequently induce a slower, heavier beat, similar to wading through thick water. You are not imagining this time. Perception is intricately linked to your level of consciousness. When you are fully involved and aligned, your awareness is broad and time appears to fly. When you're surrounded by chaotic or stagnant energy, your consciousness shrinks and time slows. This is why you frequently prefer to leave early or skip going out entirely. It's not about dislike for people or fear of crowds. It is about acknowledging that your life energy flows differently now and that some surroundings impair that flow. You eventually cease accepting conditions that make time feel heavier. You learn to respect situations in which moments seem lively rather than depleted. And in doing so, you recover your freedom not just from locations, but also from the idea that you must spend your time somewhere that dulls your soul prior to waking. Going out was frequently linked to stimulation, music, lights, people, conversations, motion, and novelty. It gave you a buzz, a feeling of being alive. However, once you awaken, you understand that being alive is no longer dependent on external stimulus. It stems from inner alignment. This transition is mild at first. You may find that the things that once excited you no longer do. A clock that once kept you energized now makes you sleepy at midnight. A crowded shopping excursion that was previously enjoyable now feels like a hassle. An event that once thrilled you with adrenaline now makes you crave silence. What has changed? After waking up, your nervous system recalibrated. Your system no longer thrives on frequent bursts of stimulus. Those bursts of exhilaration begin to seem more like noise than nourishment. You begin to notice the peace. Deep, peaceful, consistent tranquility feels better than fleeting highs. When you go out now, your senses process everything at once. The pounding bass from the speakers, the clinking of drinks, the overlapping voices, and the changing lighting. You absorb everything in layers, and instead of feeling motivated, you feel overwhelmed. What you formerly thought enjoyable now feels like an energy cost you're unwilling to pay. Here's the deeper reality. Awakening transforms your attention from how much you can experience to what experiences actually connect with your spirit. You no longer seek stimulation merely to pass the time. You chose surroundings that promote presence, connection, and authenticity. For many awakened spirits, this means that nature comes to feel more alive than nightlife. A leisurely evening at home, listening to music, feels more fulfilling than a packed event. A long chat beneath the stars feels more fulfilling than hours of bouncing from place to place. This does not imply you will never feel excited again. It suggests you've elevated your standards for what constitutes significant stimulation. Most congested places no longer satisfy this standard. After waking up, you become more conscious of how your energy shapes your experience. You recognize that your ideas, emotions, and vibrations are continually influencing your life. With that awareness comes natural desire to defend your mental and energy space from unwanted disturbance. Crowded spaces are full with other people's energy. Everyone you pass has their own concerns, wants, frustrations, and beliefs. In a crowd, those energies combine to create a collective frequency with which you are continuously in contact. Even if you're not physically interacting with others, your field detects tiny hints and vibrations that might cause you to alter your concentration. This is important since attention is everything in manifestation. If you spend long in a chaotic energy field, your own frequency may get dispersed. You may leave a location feeling confused, uninspired, or doubting yourself, unaware that you have absorbed shards of other people's energy. Your subconscious recognizes this pattern, even if your conscious mind disagrees. As a result, you gradually become averse to going out in specific situations. You could find yourself too weary to attend major events. Even if you napped all day, you may lose interest in formerly fascinating activities. You may procrastinate leaving the house without a clear cause. This is your inner system, which protects your manifestation field. It is suggesting, let us not put our energy in a situation where it will be diluted. And when you acknowledge that resistance, something changes. You begin to see your intentions emerge more quickly. You begin to feel more focused, in control of your emotions, and consistent in your goal for your life. It's not like you'll never be able to manage public spaces again. You're learning discernment. You'll start going out when it seems right energetically, and you'll realize that you move through the world with greater clarity and purpose. Awakening is not about hiding from a world. It is about engaging with the world from a position of strength, not compromise. That entails safeguarding your manifestation field until your alignment is strong enough to transport it wherever. If you identify yourself in these indications, please hear this clearly. You are not broken, antisocial, or behind in life. Because you choose to stay at home or spend less time in crowds, the world may try to persuade you that regular social connection is evidence of pleasure, success, or confidence. However, your desire to avoid chaotic situations is not a sign of weakness. It is wisdom. Spiritual awakening alters your relationship with energy permanently. You no longer navigate the world on autopilot. You no longer blend into any surroundings just to fit in. Instead, you begin to live with discernment, deciding where your energy goes, who you share it with, and which situations deserve your presence. Yes, it may get lonely at times. You may lose pals who don't understand why you vanished. You may feel pressured to explain yourself, but you will also see something lovely occurring. The more you recognize your energy, the more events, people, and opportunities align with your soul's frequency. Avoiding crowds does not imply closing out the world. It's about keeping true to yourself. When you deviate from that alignment, something strong occurs. When you choose to interact, you begin to radiate stronger, cleaner energy. Your presence becomes more impactful and your interactions more genuine. Your experience is more nutritious. So don't hurry back into situations that exhaust you. Allow your energy field to strengthen. Allow your nervous system to adjust. Allow your heart to direct you to situations that make you feel protected, inspired, and alive. The world does not require you everywhere. It requires you to show your light without compromise. And if you felt seen in this video, please know that you are not alone on this journey. There's an entire soul family out here. People who understand why you've changed and respect how you manage your energy. If you want to continue investigating these realities, be sure you subscribe and remain connected here. Because each week, we go deeper into the secrets of your awakening, the shifts that no one else discusses, and how your soul is preparing you for the life you were born to live. You aren't missing out. You're tuned in. And this alters everything.